Welcome to Yoga with Lynn. As ever, pay attention to how you feel as you move. Know that you're responsible for your yoga. And if anything doesn't feel right, make any adjustments or leave it out, take a rest. So be aware of yourself through the whole class. It's a hot evening tonight, so we'll move a little bit slower, slightly different to normal. But take it easy. If you feel dizzy or in any way not right, then take a rest. So we're going to start. We're going to use a block and a cushion tonight. So if you can get a hold of those things, please do. And when you're ready, take a lie down on your back. So allow yourself to be aware of your breath and let it be comfortably slow. Awareness of your breath means that you're aware where your body moves as you breathe, and in enough control of your breath to make it smooth and even. Your shoulders can relax, your hands and legs flop. And that steady, even pace is how you can breathe through, hopefully, the whole of the class today. So if ever I suggest observing your breath again, try to make your breath like it is now. Bring your legs together, arms comfortably by your sides. Stretch your legs out, draw your tummy button gently towards your spine. We're going to take a little sequence of movements in time with the breath. So I'll go through a sequence on each side, left and right with you, and then leave you to do it in time of your own breath. So start with an exhale. As you inhale, lift your right leg straight upwards. As you exhale, bend your right knee, hands on your knee or your shin to draw that knee into your chest. As you inhale again, stretch the leg up to the ceiling, rest your arms. And as you exhale, lower your right leg back down to the floor. Breath in, left side, lift straight up. Exhale, knee to chest, hands around your knee. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, leg back down to the floor. So you're on your own with your left leg, inhaling, lifting it up. There is a bit of abdominal strength required, so be drawing your tummy button down towards your spine as you lift and lower your leg. The next time your left leg lands back down on the floor, let yourself relax. So the movement stops, the breath continues as before with the same awareness of your breath as before. Then bend both knees, place both feet on the mat. Bring your right knee onto your chest, hold behind the back of your thigh, and then draw it in gently towards you, but shoulders relaxed, hips relaxed. You're going to circle your right ankle. So there's no movement in the leg. Just a rotating of the foot. Smooth, big, slow. Back the other way. Rest your ankle. Take your right hand on your right knee, left arm out to the side, and your right hand is going to guide your right knee around in a big circle. And as you guide it round, try to keep your right hip solid on the floor, as if the top of your right thigh bone is just pivoting on the floor, so it doesn't actually lift up. It might restrict the amount of movement that you make. If you want to take your hand away, you can. And then that same circle back in the other direction. And then gently come to a rest. Bring your right foot on the floor. Left knee to your chest, hands around the back of your thigh. So draw it comfortably in, but shoulders and hips relaxed. Leg just flopping, and then you can circle your left ankle. Taking it into all the places that it doesn't really want to go. Some place it wants to cut off that circle. Take it all the way round. Change direction. And then let the ankle relax. Left hand on your left knee, right arm out to the side. So tip of your left thigh bone is just touching the floor in your mind's eye, and then your left hand guides your knee around, and the tip of the thigh bone pivots on the floor. So hand stays on your knee, or if you want to make a bigger circle, you can take it off. But try to make the circle so that your left hip stays firmly down. So the tip of the thigh bone always stays as if it's in contact. And back the other way. Stop that circling, place your left foot back down on the floor. Bring both knees onto your chest, hands around your knees, have a rock side to side. And then feet back down on the floor. Take a roll over to one side, make your way up to standing. And then we're going to stand tall. So feet a little bit apart, comfortable distance apart, maybe hip distance apart, toes pointing forwards. And picture the footprints that you're making in your mat. Make them nice, even footprints. Footprints that you'd be proud to look back at. And imagine you've got a zip from between your ankles on the floor. Zip it up right through the centre, right until it comes to this point just behind your front ribs. So to hold your zip steady at the bottom, the base of the big toes and the inner heel needs to push down towards the floor. So feel that big lift. So the zip comes up to your lower ribs. It's not going to move forwards or back, it's just a vertical zip. You're going to take your hands and interlock your fingers, then take that onto the back of your head. And your elbows are comfortably wide out to the side. Then let your shoulders relax. So re-find your footprints, re-zip your zip. And then it's like there's a cushion behind the back of your shoulders, your upper shoulders. You're just going to lean the upper shoulders back into that cushion. It's not far. Your zip still stays vertical, your footprint's still perfect. So your head is resting in your hands. And as you've leaned your shoulders back a little bit, now the backs of your upper arms, they can press back into that cushion as well. So steady breath, but just ease your very upper back and the backs of your upper arms into the cushion, the imaginary cushion behind them. So we're going to come out of it very carefully. The first thing you're going to do is bring your elbows closer towards each other. And then bring your chin parallel to the floor. And then bring your body up. And relax your arms by your sides. So zipping up again. Hands on the back of your head, same as before, interlocked. This time your elbows come narrow. We're going to go the other direction. So chin moves down towards your chest. Remember that zip isn't going to move anywhere. So it's only your very upper back that now starts to round very slightly. Let your hands be light on the back of your head to start. And then if it feels comfy, just let your hands relax, as if your elbows are relaxed. So the weight of your arms is on the back of your head, but do be careful. Think of how it feels. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Even footprints, zipping up. You should feel a stretch up the back of your neck, but also across the top of the back of your shoulders widthways as your elbows relax to the floor. So again, we're going to come up really gently. You keep your chin to your chest. Just take the weight off the back of your head. Keep your chin to your chest. Let your arms come down by your sides. And roll your shoulders up, then let your head come up. Perfect. So first one again, interlocking your hands, taking your hands on the back of your head, elbows wide. Zip up, shoulders relax. And then just let the backs of your shoulders, the top of the back of your shoulders and your upper arms lean into the support that's behind you. So you keep having to consciously relax your shoulders and squeeze the backs of your upper arms into that cushion behind you. Your head rests in your hands. Your armpits tilt up towards the ceiling. And you breathe steadily. So again, elbows towards each other first, and then chin comes parallel to the floor. Then you bring yourself upright. Rest your arms. So chin is still parallel to the floor, shoulders square to the front. You're going to turn your head to the right. So keep your chin parallel as you go around. Smoothly round to your comfortable maximum, smoothly back to the centre. And then continue round to the left. Come back to the centre. Turn to the right. So at that comfortable maximum place, just see if it would be okay to squeeze. Only squeeze if it feels like you know it'll be okay. The front of the left shoulder gently easing back because it wants to ping forwards to let your head turn more. Unsqueeze if you squeeze to come back to the centre. And then to the left. To your comfortable maximum, think if you could have a squeeze. Only squeeze if that feels good. And then unsqueeze back to the centre. Step your feet slightly wide apart. I'm going to take a side stretch. So a breath in here. And then as you exhale, lean over to your right. As you breathe in, lift your left arm up to the ceiling. Straight up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, you relax to the right again. You soften your right side. Next breath in, left arm goes right overhead. It's a big stretch from your left foot to your left fingers. And as you exhale, you soften your right side again. Then as you breathe in, reach up to the ceiling, bring yourself upright. And then exhale, lower your arm. So a breath in here. And then as you exhale, you lean over to the left. Inhale, lift the right arm. Exhale, soften the left side again. Let everything hang. Inhale, stretch the right arm overhead. Exhale, soften the left side again. Inhale, reach up to the ceiling, bring yourself upright. Exhale, arm by your side. So we're going to do it twice more to each side. Breath in here. Exhale, lean to the right. So now the whole right side dangles. Inhale, left arm stretches up to the ceiling. Exhale, soften the right side again. Inhale, take the arm further over, big stretch. Exhale, soften the right side again. Inhale, left arm up, bring yourself upright. Exhale, arm down. Breath in. Exhale, left. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, soften the left side again. Inhale, take the arm over. Exhale, soften the left side. Inhale to reach up and come up. Exhale, arm down. Breath in. Exhale, lean to the right. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, right side softens. Inhale, arm overhead. Exhale, right side softens. Inhale, left arm up, bring yourself up. Exhale, arm by your side. Breath in. Exhale, lean to the left. Inhale, raise your right arm. Exhale, lean over. Inhale, final stretch, take that arm beyond your head. Exhale, soften the left side one last time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, arm by your side. So we're going to take a balance. We're going to step back away from your mat. I'm going to bring my mat forwards because I've got no room behind me. Have a little bit of room behind you, not too close. And your feet together or just a little bit apart. Lovely. So if you step off your mat, we're going to imagine that we're on a cliff's edge and we're going to dive. And I've got my blue mat today. I didn't have my blue mat last time I did this. So that's my sea below. I'm on the cliff's edge and the mat is the sea down below. So you can take your arms wide out to the side and then rotate them so that the palms face up and the whole arm rotates that way. So the armpit starts to sort of rotate forwards, the inside edges of your elbows face the ceiling. And that's going to help you keep your chest lifted. You take a breath in, and as you exhale, you forward fold. It's like your hips slide back as your chest dives forwards. So you're coming into a diving position. You can take a bit of bend in your knees if you want to, that's your choice. When you can't go down any further, take your eye gaze straight down into your C. Float your arms up behind you. So your arms come parallel and your hands are reaching up towards the ceiling with straight elbows. Lift your tummy button. If you can, lift your heels as well. You're on that cliff's edge, deciding whether to dive in or not. And on this occasion, you're not going to. You're going to bend your knees, place your feet on the floor, heels down on the floor, and then round your back. Bring yourself back up to standing. So we'll go again. Maybe this time we'll dive. So arms out to the sides, palms turned up. You can wait to lift your heels when you're there, or you can lift them now if you feel like you want a bit more challenge to your balance. So tummy button to spine, a lifted chest. Take a breath in. As you exhale, hips go back as you hinge forwards. It's elegant all the way, so keep your chest lifted. Send your gaze down onto your shimmery water, and then float your arms out behind you. So your elbows are straight, arms are parallel, hands lifting towards the ceiling, so your shoulders are, your shoulder blades are squeezed. You're lifting on your heels, lifting your tummy button in that balanced position. You could go either way. And then bend your knees, bring your heels back down onto the floor. Take a good bend of your legs, relax your arms. Round your back, tuck your chin in, roll back up to standing. And then have a lie down on your back on your mat. So when you lie down on your mat, take your attention back to your breath. That same breath that we started the class with. So it may take a few breaths just to let your breathing settle into a more smooth pace. You feel the movement of your body, and you feel the fact that you have control over how you breathe. Bend your knees, place your feet on the mat, and then we're going to rock ourselves up to sitting, or roll to one side and come up to sitting, whatever suits you. So have your block and your cushion, or your 2 blocks. I've got 2 blocks, but that's whatever you've got is good with me. You're going to sit with your feet wide apart. So cushion or block number 1, if you want to have it underneath your hips to be able to sit up more easily, then use one of them there. That's your choice. Makes it just a little bit easier to stay lifted. But if you find it quite easy there, then you don't have to have it. That's fine. That's your choice. But you're going to have block if you can in front of you, but pillow will do fine if you don't have the block. So have that there just in a moment. You're going to take your hands either side of your hips. So anytime this is difficult, if it's very difficult for you to sit up, you can take a bend of your knees. That makes it a little bit easier. or you can have them stretched out. But we're going to sit up tall. So what does it take to get you to sit up tall? If your back is rounding and bulging out behind, feel the bit that's bulging and move it forwards. So you've got hands on the floor as a bit of a lever to move that bit forwards. So knees bent or straight is fine all the way. And if that's enough, if that's every effort to bring you up or close to upright, you stay there. If that's okay, then take your block, put it quite close to you, and see if you can lean your lower front ribs onto your block. So that's encouraging you to not round your back. So let me go small sideways. So very often if we want to forward fold, we'll go like that and round our backs. But I'm encouraging you to bring this forwards to try and touch your block. It doesn't have to be far forwards, it can just be an inch forwards, but just see what you can do. You can keep your hands behind, or you can bring them on your legs, or you can bring them forwards. You can have them wherever you want them. But if your front ribs find your block, take your block a little bit further forwards and lean again. And if you're just thinking about bringing in the bulge at the back, then that's fine as well. So be wherever you can be. Relax your head and neck, relax your shoulders if you can, if you're in a position to do that. Find your slow breath again. So stay where you are. What is your slow breath like? And is there an action of the backs of your legs or your buttocks that allows you to come a little bit more forwards? Is there anything that can happen there or not? No is always a fine answer. So you can gently walk back in if you've walked your hands forwards. Bring yourself upright. Bring your legs together. Sit tall, give them a shake, give them a rock, give them anything that they need. And then if you weren't sitting on your block before, I would suggest sitting on your block for the next one. But if you don't want to, take it away, that's always okay. So you're going to bend your left leg, and bring it in, and take the right leg wide out to the side. So again, if that leg doesn't want to be straight, give it a bend. That's fine to give it a bend. If you sit on the block, you should find that both hips, both buttocks are equally weighted. And if they're not, well, make sure you're sitting on the block if they're not. That just gives you a little bit of lift. But you can have this leg wherever you want. It doesn't have to be tucked in. It can be further away. It can be further over. It can be further out to the side. Wherever it feels like it's giving you a bit of support to sit up straight. So we're going to try and find a sitting up straight position again. And then you're going to take your right hand on your right leg and turn yourself towards your left knee. It's like your tummy button. If there was a laser beam coming out of your tummy button, it's trying to go directly towards your knee. That's a bit of much of an ask. And as your right inside knee maybe rolls towards the floor, try and lift it away from the floor. Try and keep the knee pointing to the ceiling. Okay. You can take a breath in there. And then as you exhale, your right fingers reach towards the inside of your right ankle. You lean down over that extended leg, whether it's bent or straight, you side stretch over it. Your left hand, behind your back, palm face out, and your left shoulder rolling back. So we're going to stay here for a few breaths. See what you can do to relax your legs, to lift your chest. So if you feel like you've rounded your shoulders forwards, lift your arm away from your ankle again, come further up, lift your chest. And either stay there or go back down, but with the lifted chest. and your tummy button is still turning towards your left knee. So you can look up at the ceiling. You can reach your left arm up to the ceiling if that feels comfy. You're going to take a breath in to lift your chest, and a breath out to turn your chest as if towards the ceiling, maybe like you're feeling like you're opening that left arm back. Breath in again, open the chest, lift the chest. Exhale, turn to the ceiling. One more breath in, and one more breath out. Lovely. Look down at the floor in front of you. Take your left hand behind your back. Slide your hand back in. And then take your left hand on the floor. Lean onto that left side. So with a bit of weight in your left hand, you're going to lift your hips forwards so that you come onto the left knee. Lifting up and then stretching out the right arm. So it's a big stretch of the whole right side of your body. Your left hip's lifting up away from the floor. Lovely. Fingertips away from toes. Whole long right side. And then gently aim your left hip back down to the floor of the block. Bring yourself back around straight. Ease your legs out. If they need any assistance, give them what they need. And then right knee bends, foot comes in, left leg out to the side. So adjust so that you're sat nice and comfortably on your block, not perched on the edge of it, but sat nice and good and firmly. Sit yourself as tall as you can. Right hand behind your back, left hand on your left leg. And that left leg can be bent or straight, whatever lets you sit up the tallest. And turn your tummy button around to your right knee. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, left fingertips towards your left inner ankle. Ease it down. Relax your shoulders, but keep your chest lifted. Lift your right arm up to the ceiling. Turn and look up at it, or to the ceiling beyond it. So your arms are stretched. You're going to take a breath in to lift your chest. And then as you exhale, it's like your tummy button turns more towards your right knee again. Your arm opens up, your chest turns. So a breath in to lift your chest. Breath out to turn. Left hand on your leg, bit of a lever to turn. One final breath in. And a breath out. And look down at the floor. Right hand behind your back. Gently bring yourself back up. Right hand. Lean it down onto the floor. Take your weight all the way onto that hand and then lift yourself onto your right knee as well. Lift your hips. Stretch the left arm overhead. Make that line as long as you can. Lovely. And your right hip back down onto the block. Hands on the floor. Stretch both legs out. Give them a little shake if they feel like they need a shake. So we're going to take a forward fold with cross-legged. So lots of options for this. We're going to stay there for a little while. So it's really important not to go to your maximum stretch. So we're going to use the blocks as a bit of support. If you don't like cross legs, if your hips or your knees don't like cross legs, then have your legs stretched out like this instead, and you can have bend of your knees if you want, but use the block in the same way. So if any time your legs or your knees feel like they've seized up in cross leg, stretch them out. So what we're going to do is come into a cross leg position, but sit well back on your block. Maybe come sideways for a moment. Sit well back on your block. like a nice firm groundedness through that. So none of these sort of how we sometimes do perching on the edge, right on top. And then have your shins so they're kind of parallel with the short edge of your mat, or the edge of the mat that you're looking at. So your feet aren't tucked in, they're a little bit, your legs are a little bit away from you. And you're going to take your block nicely in front. So starting either with your hands on your knees or your hands on the floor behind, depends how long your arms are. Mine aren't really long enough to sit up tall like that, so I'm happier with my hands on my knees. So any bulging behind, you're lifting up out of it. You're drawing in whatever's pushing back. And if that's enough, if that feels enough effort, then that's where you stay, because you're not going to go to your maximum, you're just going to find a bit of a biting point. So position number 2, if you want to go a bit further, take your block and put it short edge against your legs where they cross. I'm going to come and turn forwards so that you can see a little bit more clearly. In there, an angle towards you, so that you can sit up and then you lean into the edge of the block. And it's a nice bit of support. You almost lean forwards onto it and hang forwards over it. I'll go sideways as well in case you're not sure. It's a bit difficult to see, but in that wedge, angle it towards you, lean into it, and then it's kind of nice. I feel that's quite comfortable to let myself go. So if that feels good to you, that's where you stay. If you want to lean forward, if you feel like you have got a bit more leaning forwards to do, then try putting the brick this away onto the floor, but leaning a bit towards you. Lean your ribs, get your ribs on it, and then lean forwards over that. And if that's still not enough, then bring it in front. You can place it in front, you can put your hands on it, put it wherever you want, rest your forehead on it, or on your hands to make a bit of an extra lift of it, or on it, or even turn it that way up and rest on it, or maybe you can stretch out along the floor and rest your forehead on just the shallow edge of the block. So find what feels comfy. Yeah, get it nice and high, yeah. But find somewhere where it gives you some support, and you want the support to be so stay there as I talk to you. You want the support to be something that you can really lean heavily onto. If you're just managing to touch it, and but you're not really sinking into it, then that's too low for you, because you're not going to want to hold this position for very long. So you should be able to relax your shoulders and upper body pretty much, depending on where you've got your block, what you're leaning on. And find that slow breath again. So of course, staying there still with your slow breath, of course you can move your block, your support anytime you want to a better place for you if you need to. But as you rest there with your slow breath, picture what area sort of your buttocks and back of the thighs have on the floor or the block, whatever you're sat on. What shape has it made? Just roughly, what shape has it made? And the balance of weight in that shape. Can you transfer the weight more to the front of that shape? So your upper body's not involved in that. There's something in your legs and your hips that will allow that to happen. But you keep your breath steady and slow. Maybe your jaw is tense. Relax your jaw. And you're very gently going to lift yourself back up again. Place your block to one side. Lie yourself down on your back. Stretch your legs out. Still with that slow, steady breath. Awareness of the movement of your body as you breathe. Awareness of your control over your breath and how you're allowing it to be slow and smooth. And both feet onto the mat, bending your knees. And then bring your right knee onto your chest. Hold it around the back of your right thigh. Ease it in towards you, but take your knee just a little bit wide out to the side. Just wide so that it's pointing out over your shoulder or slightly wide of your shoulder, but no wider than that. Pull your toes up towards your knee, your right knee. So you're going to hold your thigh steady, but you're going to extend the knee from where it's very bent so that the sole of the foot looks up towards the ceiling. So the knee might want to lift a bit away from the floor. That's kind of the negotiation of your knee and your foot. Your left hand can hold the back of your thigh steady, but your right hand is going to reach up and hold where it can. So maybe it'll reach over the outside edge of your foot. Maybe it'll hold your ankle somewhere else along your shin. If it won't reach there, then bring it back to the thigh and just keep a hold of the thigh. And then your left arm can go out to the side. It's a bit of a counterbalance. So your right foot looks like it's standing on the ceiling, and your right knee as if it's melting down towards the floor by your armpit. Extend the left leg out. If that's too much stretch, then bend your left knee again, place your foot on the floor. Your left leg stretches out, the heel stretches away. Your right knee just tries to melt down by your armpit. Then bend your left knee again, foot onto the floor. Right outside ankle onto your left knee. Ease the right knee away from you. A bit of stretch on your right hip. So you can stay there if you want to, or you can pick up your left foot. Pick up your head, look towards your left thigh. Your one hand either side of the thigh. They're going to go around the back of the thigh, interlock behind your left thigh. Tuck your chin in. Roll your head back down onto the floor. Can your shoulders relax? Can you roll your tailbone down towards the floor? And you guide your left thigh towards your left shoulder. And then release your left thigh. Left foot comes down on the floor. Arms wide out to the side. You're going to move your hips a couple of inches over to the right side of the mat so your spine is not parallel with the edges of the mat now. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, take both legs over towards the left. So roll onto your left hip, but keep the right shoulder on the floor as much as you can. See how far you can take your legs. And if it's, you may need to unhook, make it comfy for your legs. Maybe you can take your left hand on the outside of your left knee just to guide it down a little bit further. You can look up at the ceiling or look out over your right arm. See if you can relax your hips heavy on the floor. Extend the left arm. Bring your legs back to the centre. And then bring both feet onto the floor. Centre your hips. So same on the other side. Left knee comes onto your chest. Hands go around the back of your thigh. You ease the leg in towards you, so your thigh comes close to you, but it's just on the left side of your torso. So your knee is pointing out over your left shoulder. And then you hold your thigh steady, but you stretch the leg. Just stretch the leg a little bit so that the foot points up to the ceiling. You keep your knee as low as you can. So your right hand holds your thigh. Left hand creeps up your left shin. Hold as high as it can, whether that's calf, shin rather, ankle or outside of your foot. Once you've got a hold, you can take the right arm out to the right. And you do whatever you can to soften your hips. Your left hip in particular. If you want to, extend the right leg out along the mat. So push the heel away. The more you relax your left hip, it's like that knee could almost come down onto the floor by your armpit one day. Slow, steady breath. Bend your right knee, foot on the floor, and then release the left foot very gently. Take the outside of the left ankle onto your right knee. Left toes pull up to the left knee eases away from your face. And you can stay there, or you can look up towards your right thigh. Take your hands either side of your thigh, pick the foot up, interlock your hands, and then roll the back and the back of your head back down onto the floor. So if your left knee wants to pull towards your face, encourage it away instead. But guide your right thigh in towards your body, in towards the direction slightly of your right shoulder. Feel the tailbone wanting to roll and lift up, but encourage that back down to the floor. Release the right leg, bring that right foot gently down on the floor. Stretch your arms out to the sides, palm face up. And slide your hips over to the left side of the mat. Take a breath in. As you exhale, take your legs over to the right side. So your left arm and shoulder stay on the floor as much as you can. Right hip to the floor. Left hip stacks on the right hip. Maybe you need to adjust where your legs are, untuck a little bit. But then take your right hand on the outside of your left knee. Guide that down with awareness of what's going on in your left shoulder. A broad open chest. and then heavy hips. Extend the right arm. Gently roll onto your back. When you get there, place both feet on the floor. Center your hips. Keep your knees bent. If you put anything under the back of your head, move it away. We're going to lift into Setu Bandha. So arms come down by your sides, palm face down, and your feet come nice and close in towards your hips. Feet are hip distance apart, toes a little bit turned in. Feel the framework that surrounds your upper body. So your arms, your shoulders, the back of your head, your feet. Your hips are going to lift up so that that framework holds you. So press down through your arms, your feet. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling. If you want to, and you've got the space underneath your back, you can interlock your hands behind your back. You keep your elbows straight, you squeeze your elbows in towards each other, and where the skin on your upper arm gets a bit tight, you lift one shoulder up, tuck the upper arm under, lift the other shoulder up, tuck that arm under. And then you've got a good solid foundation in your upper arms to push down and get some more lift in your chest. So your armpits are down on the floor, the centre of your chest is lifting towards the ceiling. Your feet flat on the floor, feel your footprint, lift your hips. Your body's a parachute, front of your body splaying up towards the ceiling, flapped open parachute. One more big push down through your feet and your upper arms. And if you interlock your hands, uninterlock them. Take your arms as wide apart as the mat. Slowly, firmly, hips towards your heels as you smooth your back down onto the floor. The whole width of your back, feel it rolling down onto the floor. So you can take longer if you want, but when you have landed your hips on the floor, bring your knees onto your chest. Take your hands around your knees. And take a breath in. As you breathe out, bring your forehead up towards your knees. Squeeze in tight, relax your shoulders. Chin tucked to chest. Roll your upper back down to the floor and then the back of your head. Bring your feet down onto the floor. Stretch your legs out. Bring your legs together, your arms by your sides. Find your breath again. You can come back to the sequence that we started with. This time though, with a little bit more to it. So as you breathe in, you're going to lift your right leg up towards the ceiling and both arms overhead. As you breathe out, bend your right knee, bring it into your chest, hands around your knee, and knee up forehead up towards your knee. As you inhale, arms beyond your head, right leg stretches up to the ceiling. As you exhale, arms and legs back down. So inhale, arms beyond your head, left leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, bend your left knee into your chest, hands around your knee, forehead to knee. Inhale, stretch, leg up, arms out, head down. Exhale, leg to the floor, arms to the floor. So carry on in your own time. You're going to carry on at the same pace until your left leg next lands down on the floor. And then let your feet creep wider apart. Sorry, carry on to finish. When you are finished, then creep your feet wider apart. Let your feet flop wherever they want to flop. Arms a little way away from your sides, palms turned up. Make sure your lower back feels comfy on the floor. If it won't get comfy, then bend your knees, have your feet on the floor as well, so you can give a bit of a stretch to your lower back. Check that your upper back feels comfy as well. You might want to just lift one side of it up, tuck it under, and the other side. Get your shoulder blades nice and flat on the floor. Back of your head comfy on the floor. If your chin feels like it's lifted up towards the ceiling, then lift your head off the floor, tuck your chin in, and then lower it back down, then let it relax again. Have your eyes closed. Awareness that you're controlling your breath. You can see what moves as you breathe. You can choose a slow, steady pace. Feel how easy it is to breathe smoothly. Effortless, steady, even breathing. And gently reach your arms beyond your head. Bring your legs together, push your heels away, pull your toes up towards you. And then point your toes away. Release that stretch. Gently bend your knees, bring your feet onto the mat. And then knees onto your chest, hands around your knees, take a rock side to side. Let's get one big roll to the side where you've got most space. And then come back up to sitting. Namaste. Lovely to see you. Thank you for joining me.